Will Smith placed his phone on the table, showing a video with 100 million views. This 60-second Instagram post got more views than some of my $200 million movies, he said quietly. For 30 years, I studied what made audiences choose my films over others. The same psychological triggers that made me Hollywood's most bankable star are what make content go viral. I just had to learn a new language, social media, to speak to a new generation. Tonight, I'm sitting across from Will Smith, the man who dominated Hollywood box offices for 3 decades with $6.5 billion in worldwide ticket sales, then reinvented himself as a social media phenomenon at age 50. With over 65 million Instagram followers and billions of video views, he's proven that the principles of mass entertainment transcend platforms. You just need to understand how to adapt them. People think social media and movies are completely different worlds, Will continued, his famous smile lighting up the restaurant. But they're both about the same thing, capturing human attention and making people feel something. The only difference is the timeline. Movies had 2 hours to make you laugh, cry, or think. Social media gives you 15 seconds. The waiter brought our drinks, but Will's focus remained on the intersection of traditional and digital stardom. When I started in Hollywood in the 90s, I had a simple formula. Be the guy everyone wants to hang out with, tell stories that work in every culture, and never make anything that parents wouldn't want their kids to see. That formula made me the most bankable star in the world for 2 decades. But by 2015, I felt irrelevant. My last few movies weren't connecting like they used to. Younger audiences didn't know who I was beyond that guy from old movies. I was 47 years old, watching my career slowly fade, and I had 2 choices: accept decline or figure out how to be discovered all over again. Will pulled up his early Instagram posts from 2017, showing tentative, awkward attempts at social media. My kids, Jaden and Willow, they were digital natives, born into social media. They tried to teach me, but I was thinking like a movie star, not like a content creator. My first posts were terrible, stiff, promotional, trying to sell people on watching my movies. I was treating Instagram like a movie trailer when it needed to be like hanging out with friends. What changed your approach? I spent 6 months studying viral content like I used to study box office hits. I analyzed what made people share videos, what emotions drove engagement, what timing patterns worked best. I discovered that the same psychological principles that made my movies successful could make social media content successful. Will showed me analytics from some of his most popular posts, pointing out patterns in engagement and reach. The breakthrough is understanding that authenticity doesn't mean unpolished, it means emotionally honest. My movies worked because I played characters who felt real, even in fantastic situations. My social media needed to show me being real, even while being entertaining. The first video that really worked was me learning to use Instagram from my kids. It got 20 million views because it showed vulnerability. This Hollywood superstar being genuinely confused by technology, his teenagers understood perfectly. People connected with that human moment. The first course arrived, but Will's passion for the subject kept him engaged. That's when I realized the box office principles still applied, just compressed. In movies, I had the first 10 minutes to hook the audience. On Instagram, I had the first 3 seconds. The stakes were actually higher because the audience could literally swipe away in an instant. So I adapted my movie formula for social media. Start with a hook that makes people stop scrolling, deliver genuine emotion or insight, and end with something that makes them want to share it with friends. The same 3-act structure that worked in Independence Day worked in 60-second videos. How did you develop your social media persona? I studied myself in successful movies and identified what people responded to. They loved my sense of humor, my family dynamics, my work ethic, and my willingness to look foolish for a good laugh. So I made those elements the core of my social media presence. The gym videos, the family interactions, the behind-the-scenes glimpses. It was all strategic content designed to show different aspects of my personality that people had connected with in movies, but in a more direct, unfiltered way. Will scrolled through his Instagram feed, showing the variety of content types he'd mastered. I treated social media like a laboratory for understanding modern audiences. Every post was an experiment. What time of day gets the most engagement? What topics resonate across different cultures? How do you make content that works for both teenagers and their parents? Will showed me analytics from some of his most popular posts, pointing out patterns in engagement and reach. The breakthrough was understanding that authenticity doesn't mean unpolished. It means emotionally honest. My movies worked because I played characters who felt real, even in fantastic situations. My social media needed to show me being real, even while being entertaining. The first video that really worked was me learning to use Instagram from my kids. It got 20 million views because it showed vulnerability. This Hollywood superstar being genuinely confused by technology his teenagers understood perfectly. People connected with that human moment. The first course arrived, but Will's passion for the subject kept him engaged. That's when I realized the box office principles still applied, just compressed. In movies, I had the first 10 minutes to hook the audience. On Instagram, I had the first 3 seconds. The stakes were actually higher because the audience could literally swipe away in an instant. So I adapted my movie formula for social media. Start with a hook that makes people stop scrolling, deliver genuine emotion or insight, and end with something that makes them want to share it with friends. The same 3-act structure that worked in Independence Day worked in 60-second videos. How did you develop your social media persona? I studied myself in successful movies and identified what people responded to. They loved my sense of humor, my family dynamics, my work ethic, and my willingness to look foolish for a good laugh, so I made those elements the core of my social media presence. The gym videos, the family interactions, the behind-the-scenes glimpses, that was all strategic content designed to show different aspects of my personality that people had connected with in movies, but in a more direct, unfiltered way. Will scrolled through his Instagram feed, showing the variety of content types he'd mastered. I treated social media like a laboratory for understanding modern audiences. Every post was an experiment. What time of day gets the most engagement? What topics resonate across different cultures? How do you make content that works for both teenagers and their parents? The data was incredible. I could get real-time feedback on what people liked in ways that movies never allowed. Box office numbers came weeks later, but social media engagement was instant. It was like having a focus group of 50 million people for every piece of content. Your YouTube channel took off around the same time. How did that fit into the strategy? YouTube was the long-form version of the Instagram strategy. Instagram proved I could capture attention quickly, but YouTube let me tell deeper stories. I could combine the production values I'd learned from movies with the authenticity that worked on social media. The vlog format was perfect because it gave me the structure of a TV show with the intimacy of social media. I could take people behind the scenes of my life in ways that traditional media never allowed. The main course was served, and Will reflected on the business implications of his digital transformation. Here's what most celebrities don't understand about social media. It's not just marketing for your main career, it becomes its own revenue stream. My Instagram and YouTube generate millions in direct revenue through partnerships, sponsored content, and my own product placements. But more importantly, it made me valuable to Hollywood again. Studios realized that I could guarantee not just box office success, but social media engagement. I could promote movies to audiences they couldn't reach, in languages they understood. How did this affect your movie career? It completely revitalized it. Aladdin in 2019 made over $1 billion worldwide, and a huge part of that was because I could promote it authentically on social media. I could show behind-the-scenes content, interact with fans globally, and create excitement in ways that traditional marketing couldn't match. The Genie casting was controversial initially. But I use social media to show people my approach, my respect for the original, and my excitement about the role. By the time the movie came out, the narrative had completely shifted because I'd been able to tell my own story directly to audiences. Will showed me promotional videos from the Aladdin campaign that had hundreds of millions of views. That's when Hollywood understood that social media wasn't separate from the movie business. It was the future of the movie business. Actors who could create their own content, build their own audiences, and promote projects authentically were going to be more valuable than traditional stars. The key insight was that audiences today don't just want to watch stars, they want to feel like they know stars. Social media bridged that gap in ways that talk shows and red carpets never could. Phew, what about the business side? How do you monetize social media fame? Multiple revenue streams. Direct partnerships with brands pay millions per post. YouTube ad revenue generates substantial monthly income. My own merchandise and products get promoted to engaged audiences who actually buy. But the biggest value is leverage. When I negotiate movie deals now, my social media reach is part of the package. Studios know that casting me means built-in marketing to 100+ million engaged followers across all platforms. The restaurant was quieter now, allowing us to explore the deeper implications of his digital strategy. I also launched my own production company's social media presence. Westbrook Media creates content specifically for digital platforms, not just traditional studios. We're producing shows for YouTube, Instagram series, TikTok content, treating social media as a legitimate entertainment medium. The margins are incredible compared to traditional media. A YouTube video that costs $50,000 to produce can generate millions in views and hundreds of thousands in revenue. Compare that to a $200 million movie that might break even. How do you maintain authenticity while being strategic about content? That's the million-dollar question. The audience can sense when you're being fake, but they also understand that you're running a business. The key is being genuinely enthusiastic about what you're promoting and honest about when something is sponsored. I only partner with brands and products I actually use. When I post about fitness equipment, it's because I actually work out with it. When I promote movies, it's because I'm genuinely excited about them. That authenticity comes through and maintains trust with the audience. Will pulled up some of his most successful sponsored content, showing how seamlessly entertainment and commerce could blend. The other crucial element is family involvement. Jada, Jaden, and Willow are all social media savvy, and we create content together that feels natural, because it is natural. We actually do have these conversations, go on these trips, share these moments. We just happen to film them. That family dynamic is incredibly valuable because it appeals to multiple demographics simultaneously. Parents connect with the family content, young people connect with my kids, and everyone enjoys seeing authentic relationships. What's your advice for traditional celebrities trying to make the transition? Start by studying the platform like you'd study a script. Understand what works, why it works, and how you can adapt your existing strengths to fit the format. Don't try to be someone else. Figure out how to be yourself in a new medium. Most importantly, commit to consistency. Social media rewards regular engagement more than occasional perfection. I post almost daily because the algorithm and the audience expect it. It's like a daily show that never ends. Also, embrace the learning curve. I made terrible content for months before I figured it out. But every failure taught me something about what audiences wanted and how to deliver it better. As our dinner wound down, Will reflected on the broader implications of his digital transformation. Social media saved my career, but it also changed how I think about fame and connection. For 30 years, I was separated from audiences by screens, studios, and media intermediaries. Now I can talk directly to people, get immediate feedback, and adjust my approach in real time. It's made me a better entertainer because I understand my audience better. I know what makes them laugh, what they're interested in, what problems they're facing. That knowledge makes me more effective in everything I do. The $6 billion in box office earnings taught me how to entertain masses of people. Social media taught me how to connect with individuals within those masses. Combined, that's the formula for sustained relevance in any era. What's next for your digital strategy? We're expanding into every platform as it emerges. TikTok, Snapchat, whatever comes next, the principles remain the same, but the execution has to adapt. The goal is to maintain connection with audiences regardless of how technology changes. I'm also using social media to develop projects. When I see content that resonates particularly well, we consider turning it into longer-form entertainment. The audience reaction becomes market research for bigger projects. As we stood to leave, Will offered his final insight about the entertainment industry's evolution. Hollywood is still important, but it's no longer the only gateway to mass entertainment. Social media has democratized fame and fortune in ways that didn't exist when I started. But the fundamental principles remain the same. Understand your audience, deliver authentic emotion, and consistently show up with value. The actors who will thrive in the next 30 years are the ones who understand that being a star isn't just about what you do on screen. It's about how you connect with people across all screens, all platforms, all mediums. I went from Fresh Prince to movie star to social media influencer, but it's all been the same job, making people feel good about spending time with me. The platforms change, but human nature doesn't. This evening with Will Smith revealed that the most successful entertainers aren't those who master one medium, but those who understand the timeless principles of human connection and adapt them to whatever platform allows them to reach their audience most effectively. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos to hear the most private dinner conversations where billionaires reveal their deepest secrets. Which part inspired you the most? Drop it in the comments. Let's figure out how to become billionaires together.